Good morning, good morning, good morning. This your boy Messiah Boss, and you hooked in to You Hook Now the podcast. You Hook Now the podcast. It's simply, man, y'all know where to find me at. You can find me on the Anchor app, which is a user-friendly app for podcasters around the world. You can also find me on YouTube. I got two YouTube pages. First of all, you have to go to my Twitter page at Messiah X5. That's the handle. When you go to that handle at Messiah X5, you go to that handle, boom. You look up to the top in my bio, you'll see two Twitter apps. You'll see two YouTube apps, my bad. Two YouTube apps. I'm sorry about that. Two YouTube apps, and it'll send you to two different YouTube pages. One page houses my You Hook Now podcast, and another page houses, my devotional podcasting part of my life, plus many videos that I've shot talking about random subjects as I do. Uh, like I said, I'll get back to shooting videos, man. I'll get back to shooting more videos like of me facial. I'm gonna get back to actually doing podcasting via video uh, in a few weeks. I'm just kind of like I'm trying to let this COVID thing get out the way. I know I always kind of bring up this COVID, but like I say, COVID is putting some roadblocks up, man. Like I can't move like I want to. Like before, I used to jump on camera and be able to do whatever I do solo with no interruptions. Now, I got the kids here all the time. I got the family with me all the time. I'm always in the midst of some loving distraction. I say loving distraction because I love my people, I love my kids, I love my wife. They are not a distraction, but at the end of the day, when you're trying to produce content, you don't need the ins and the outs and the interruptions inside your content. So I'll get back to doing that for sure. Another thing, I tell people like this: I ain't no person that really asks for no money. So at the end of the day, here's my cash app. My cash app is dollar sign Messiah with a capital M, Done with a capital D. Dollar sign Messiah Done. That's my cash app. When you hear me, if you like what I'm saying and you want to contribute to my cause. My cause is sharing the word, shedding light on the truth of things from my perspective. That's what I'm doing with this podcast. I'm trying to help this podcast grow. At the end of the day, I am not sponsored by anyone. I am a viewer sponsored podcast. So what that means is, at the end of the day, I don't tell nobody what to donate to me. Whatever your heart feels like donate, donate. If it's to donate 50 cent, donate 50 cent. If it's to donate $1, donate $1, $5, $10, $20, whatever you want to do. Dollar sign Messiah with a capital M, Done with a capital D. Dollar sign Messiah Done. That's my cash app. I was gonna put up a GoFundMe page, but this is the thing about GoFundMe page. I'm keeping it straight with the cash app. I'm gonna tell you why. Because so many people have been burnt by GoFundMe pages. They have put on these teary eyed, empathetic, sympathetic stories that people fall in love with, and then they turn out to be fake. And then people then got burned for their money. I'm not trying to burn nobody for the money. I'm telling them straight up, this is for me to build a podcasting platform. You understand? This is for me to build a podcasting platform. This is for me to bring people on. This is for me to have a little something that I can allocate and put aside to incentivize people to come as I start to grow. Obviously, as you start to grow, people should want to jump on your platform because they see you growing. But at the end of the day, this is just something that I want to do, and this is something that I want to build and have a little, spare change to the side that I can do a listeners giveaway, and it's all sponsored by the people who listen to me. So I'm not gonna sit up here and try to hold y'all and give y'all no fake story about this is what I'm trying to do, no fake foundation. Yeah, I have foundations that I'm trying to start, but that's a whole nother topic. Straight with this Cash App thing, dollar sign Messiah with a capital M, Done with a capital D. That's for me to build this platform. to be able to move around, to get more mobile with my platform, to be able to set up convenience centers and things like that, to actually hold these podcasts in front of a community of people and to get engaged with community of people while I do this. So this is what I want to do. It's pretty much like a lecture. I want to have my podcast to be mobile. I can go from city to city, state to state, hold podcasts with the community and do that. That's what I envision on doing. But I can't do it without sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I go to work. You know what I'm saying? My wife go to work. I got money allocated to the side that I put in myself. But in order for me to take over the city or the town, I need sponsorship work taking over the city or the town. In order for me to take over the state, I need sponsorship to take over the state. In order for me to take over the nation, I need sponsorship to take over the nation. In order for me to take over the world, I need sponsorship to take over the world. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody not gonna rock with me, but I'm just keeping it 100 with my plan. So if you want to donate, $ Messiah capital M, Don capital D, hit it up, drop it in there, and thank y'all for all the love and support. But I say that to say this. I'm sitting here and I'm drinking on this emergency. I told y'all a couple of episodes ago that I drank this emergency. Y'all know this emergency is pretty much vitamin C packages that you mix with water, or you can mix with juice. You can mix with orange juice, apple juice, or whatever. And you mix that, and it is a vitamin C package that you take daily, or you can take however as you feel. But man, these things are amazing. Emergency, they ain't paying me nothing. I ain't got no sponsorship from them, but trust me, if anybody ever know what emergency, add them, hashtag them, or whatever, help your boy get some sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag them with your information so that I know where it came from. If whoever get their attention, I'm gonna look out for you. You know what I'm saying? When they throw me a bag, I'm gonna throw you something for looking out for me. But these emergency things, that man, they're real good, man. They help. They're actually phenomenal to me. It's like I know when once I drink these things, I know when they get in my system. It's like I just feel it. I feel the vitamin C working inside my system. So this helped me a lot. You know, times where I really felt bad and I needed a boost, I need some immune boost or whatever. I take these packages, man, and it's like I'm back. I'm back 100, like nothing ever happened. Don't feel no sickness, don't feel no congestion, don't feel no headache, don't feel none of that. Any type of sluggish vibe or feeling that you get from being sick, I personally, I'm not saying it's gonna work like that for everybody, but I know when I take these things, hey, they do me just fine. It's kind of like airborne, you know. So, but off all that, let me get into this topic tonight. This topic is called marriage pressures. Marriage pressures. The pressures of getting married, right? Oh man, this is gonna be a little up and down episode. So, opening you up to marriage pressures, and it's about people pressuring you, obviously, to settle down, pressuring you to jump the broom, pressuring you to say the I do's. And I guess not necessarily say what to look for, but why do people pressure you to get married? Like most of the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't see too many incidents where males are pressuring women to get married. I'm gonna just keep it straight 100. I really don't see too many incidents. I'm not saying that I don't see incidents, because I'm gonna tell you about some, but I don't see too many where men are the ones who are pressuring women to get married. You know, but there are a few. First of all, this is one of them that I've personally witnessed. I'm telling you about things that I've personally witnessed about men pressuring women to get married. One, if a man is from another country and y'all have some type of rapport and he needs citizenship to another country, like you hear about these marriages all the time. You hear about these DM stories where, you know, a guy from somewhere in Africa paid someone $40,000-$50,000 to get married, and they have to stay married for everywhere between 7 to 10 years, and they have to play this marriage out in order for him to get some type of citizenship or some type of visa, some type of paperwork or something. I've seen that before. I've seen those type of pressures. I actually put it like this. I've seen them before. I'm not going to speak on the incident because I do have visions of my platform going worldwide, and I don't want that incident to be spoke on and those people to get in trouble. But I have seen people from other countries, pressure someone, give them a bag that they can't refuse, and they get married for citizenship. I've seen guys do that a lot. I've seen males do that a lot. Another incident where I see males pressure women into get married. When someone is in a penitentiary and they doing this pen pal love thing and you know, he writing all these sweet letters and drawing all these sweet pictures, and she's someone who's lonely, who hasn't been with nobody in X amount of years, and now she got her this pen pal. Now she got her this person who's been writing her for 2 or 3 months, 4 or 5 months, 8, 9 months, 2 or 3 years. Now it's time for him to parole to get out, and he needs somewhere to go. I've seen dudes, come on, baby, we got to get married. I'm getting out. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I found the Lord, and I don't want to spend a day up under that roof without being married and sinning. They run that game on him. Dude get out. Matter of fact, they get married while he in prison. They get married while he in prison. She went and seen him, caught the bus, drove a car, put money on his books, all via conversation. They done went down to the chapel and got married. Husband and wife. For him to have somewhere to parole to. Bucko get out. He go to his wife. He go lay up for a few months to a year. Tap that up. Get tired of her. Boom, he calling for divorce. And then when he called for divorce, is she so desperate to put herself in that situation and she got a little something? She ain't make no prenups. She ain't make him sign nothing. He hit her up for a little something that she got. He get up on his feet. I've seen this happen like literally over 5 or 6 times. I seen it. Another reason why males will pressure a woman to get married. If he is dealing with a woman that he honestly felt that he thought he could never get, and that he got her. If he's dealing with a woman that he honestly thought that was out of his reach, but somehow, by God's grace and mercy, whatever miracle fell out the sky, he got the woman that he thought he would never get. And when he got her, he applying that pressure to get married. He applying that pressure to get married. Why? Because he don't want to lose. He got to find a way to prolong this. You know what I'm saying? And he may not choose the route of, man, let me hurry up and try to impregnate her to prolong it. Because obviously, you can impregnate a woman and don't get married, she can still walk away. You got pregnant women out here sleeping with niggas that ain't their baby father like it's nothing already. So that ain't the way he gonna keep her. He'll hurry up and try to marry her. He'll hurry up and try to put her on the spot, propose on the spot, put her in a position to where it's gonna be hard for her to say no because she don't want to hurt his feelings. Boom, they end up married. Now he got this woman that he possibly would have never had. I've seen guys like that pressure a woman into getting married. I've seen it. Another incident where I've seen a guy, or 2 guys actually, and it was crazy because I'm really surprised that the women even did it when I found out why they did it. Another reason why I've seen 2 guys pressure a woman to get married. They were sexual predators. They had to register on like the sexual registry. So under their maiden name, they are registered as a pedophile. They meet somebody, some lonely woman who really don't care. Long as she got company, she don't give a damn. Never really asked about anything. And by the time she asked, he probably didn't already fucked her down so good that her nose wide open, that she ain't even thinking. He tells her what's going on. And he gives her that story. Now don't get it twisted. I'm not saying everybody on the registry did what they did. I'm not saying that. That's just like saying everybody in jail for a crime did the crime that they in jail for, which is not true. I'm not saying sometimes the ball just falls in a messed up position for people. So I'm not going to say everybody who's a pedophile or who's on a sexual registry did the actual crime. I'm not saying that at all. Because I know 2 or 3 situations where it's like, dang, they really jammed you up like that, and the people didn't, the family didn't have the money to fight it, so they had to take that loss. I've seen messed up situations like that, but I'm not saying. But on these situations, these guys were on the registry. They found some lonely woman, hit her up, talked to her, sweet talked her, took her out on a few dates, everything like that. Obviously, she probably didn't do no research on who they was, because if she did, she would have known this is who they are. Or maybe she did do research on them. And she knew who they was, but she was so tired of being alone. She was desperate. And the guy rushed the situation to get married, and then took her name as his last name so he can operate in the world under her last name, to not get the sting, the full sting. I'm not saying that the sting is always gone, but for him to not get the full sting of being a pedophile or somebody who's on the sexual registry. Because you got to understand, there's still a lot of jobs out here that pay people under the table. There's still a lot of jobs out here that don't even require you to put your social security up. It's just come in to work, do an interview. I really like you. Hey man, we cut people personal checks. We don't even look in your background. We don't even get your drug test, no nothing. Just make sure you come to work. Make sure you write your hours down, show your hours, and we'll cut you a personal check because we're making with that money, or we'll pay you cash out the pocket because we got it like that. And they go working under the radar, under her maiden name, which he made his new married name. He rushed the marriage so he doesn't operate under the sting of being a sexual pedophile. So when they look him up, it doesn't come up under who he originally is. It comes up under his married name or his marriage situation. I've seen people get away with stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen it. I ain't saying it's right, but I've seen messed up situations like that. You understand me? Other than that, that's pretty much what I can think of that are the reasons why men rush women into getting married. Outside of, you met a woman and she just happened to be balling. Maybe she was a widow and she just got left a lot of money because her husband died, and now she inherited the whole 100%, and she balling, and you meet her, and yeah, you ready to get married, you ready to settle down because you trying to get married into the money. I've seen those situations too. I'm not lying. I've seen those situations many a times. I've seen dudes run across some old cougars that got that bag, and once they put that meat in their system, they put that meat in that cougar system, and she hasn't been opened up like that. once they put that meat in that cougar system and she hasn't been opened up like that, I'm telling you, man, when you open them up, they see things different. They see things your way. A lot of the times, they see things your way. And morals go out the window. Morals go out the window. Now, reasons why women give you pressures of marriage. First of all, peer pressure. Peer pressure. And I guess you could tie peer pressure into family pressure. Everybody in my family married. My mama married, my grandma married, my great auntie married, my cousin married, my best friend married, all my best friends are married, and everybody asks me when I'm gonna get married. Just like everybody asks me when I'm gonna have a baby. So to shut people up, for one, or not to look like the whore amongst the community of married women. Because let's be honest, married women, I've seen it with my own eyes. If they got that one or two friend that's perfectly fine with operating, just having casual sex here and there, they look at her like a whore. They maybe, and some of them tell them, you hoeing out here, you a whore. Some of them family members look at you like a whore. Some of them don't even want you around because they think you okay with whoring. Because women are esteemed, women are signified, or women are solidified about what they do to a relationship, what they bring to the relationship, how they keep the relationship going, how they are the glue of the family. That's how a lot of women are identified by. So their end all be all is to be somebody's wife and to be somebody's mother. Now I get it. We're operating in 2020 now, and a lot of women are shying away from being people's mothers and shying away from being somebody's wife. They are happy to be slanging box left and right. Trust me, there's women out here who want to drive the car and test the product, and that's what they want to do. This is the life now. The life now is women don't care. Women want to test the product and keep testing it and keep testing it and keep testing it. Even no matter the heartbreak. A woman can test the product of 7 different men and end with 7 different heartaches and still will not think, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to stop testing the product so early. Maybe it's time to make people wait until they actually give me an engagement ring, at least. Maybe it's time for me to wait to give them a box until they at least give me an engagement ring. Show me that they're going to really be here. But the problem is with women is that they have fallen in love with the ideal of thinking, I gotta increase my mileage because my mileage, me giving out the mileage, me increasing my mileage is going to make a relationship stay around. So me giving out this box is going to make them stay. And sadly, y'all know that's not true. And sadly, a lot of y'all know that the man that you laying with right now, you can look him in his face and know he ready to go. You can look him in his face and know he want to dip at any minute. But you're just happy because he's laying next to you. You're happy because you got company, because you're tired of being alone. That's how desperate some of y'all are. That's how desperate some of y'all are. Some of y'all could go look yourself in the mirror and say, I literally just let 17, 18 dudes gun me down. And I still got nothing for it. But you know what? Let me see if letting number 18 gun me down gonna change. Instead of you changing and being like, I can do all bad by myself. I don't have to still keep giving myself up to somebody. The right one gonna be there. And I ain't gotta sell myself short. But you women are hound dogs nowadays. Y'all love sex just as much as men. Y'all don't care. You know? But at the end of the day, that family pressure and that peer pressure, I've seen women all the time push the marriage, push the marriage. Let's get married. Let's get married. My friends are married. My friend has a house. My friend got a car. My friend got a new this. I gotta have it too because my friend has it. But your life and your friend life ain't the same. Obviously, that's one reason. Another reason is obviously if you see a dude and he pretty much got the bag. If you pretty much got the bag, most women gonna try to push that situation. They're gonna try to get locked and loaded, hopefully with no prenup, so they can secure the bag. You got to understand. You got to think about it. If you got a bag, if you a man who got a bag, a big bag, if you sitting on some millions, you have to think about all the bags a woman can get off of you if y'all get divorced and you ain't got a prenup, or even just get off you. Period. Think about it. Depending on where you from, she can get a spousal support bag, right? Then she can get a half of your divorce bag on top of the spousal support or the alimony, whatever. She can get that bag. Then if you have a kid, she can get a child support bag. That's 3 major bags that she can get off of you. 3. And don't let her have no lawyer that really know how to look within in that terminology and really know how to piece some things together. You know some of that property coming. You know some of them vehicles coming. You know some of them possessions are coming. All because she married you. Now, this is what I'm not trying to do. I'm not trying to tell people that marriage is bad. I'm telling people it's time to get wise about making a decision of marrying people. Because a lot of us are not making wise decisions upon getting married. But look at all the bags a woman can take from you. Obviously, if you ain't got nothing, she can't take nothing. But look at what you have. If you got the bag and your bag is abundant, which your bag ain't stopping, you get money on top of money on top of money. You have to think about all that she could take from you. Y'all have to understand that people are not operating under God's law when it comes to marriage. People are operating under the law of the world or the law of Moses when it comes to marriage and divorce. You have to understand, with God's law, there is no such thing as divorce. There is no such thing as a divorce. You can separate while you're going through your issues to soon reconcile with your husband or your wife. But there's no such thing as divorce under God's law. People are operating out of the law of Moses. Now, the law of Moses is, divorce, divorce, divorce. That's what's going on today. Why you think so many people got 7, 8, 9, 10 divorces? That ain't supposed to be that way. But being financially secure and you have it, a lot of women gonna try to rush you to make sure they invested and get locked into that money. Now, outside of family pressures and peer pressures of getting to get married, outside of you're financially abundant and she wants to make sure she gets a piece of that. And remember, she can get multiple bags off your abundance if you get her locked in. You got to understand, some of these women out here living beautiful off the child support bag of some of these people. Some of these entertainers, athletes, the women that they have kids with are living amazingly off just the child support bag. Did y'all just see the whole Dr. Dre situation where this woman trying to get $2 million a month? $2 million a month. That's $24 million a year. 2 years, 48 million. What? $2 million a month? So you got to really pay attention to the bags that these women can receive after you, because this is what you have to understand, man. This is what you have to understand about marriage. A person can get married to you and they can opt out of the marriage for any reason. And the courts, judges, lawyers, whoever, don't grant it. Because they operating under the world's law, the Mosaic law when it comes to divorce. Nobody is respecting the God's law when it comes to marriage, which means you are married to death. You are married to death. With no divorce, with a separation, only to reconcile. No being with nobody else. We have an issue, we separate, we don't mess with nobody else, and we come back and reconcile. That's God's law. I can break it down for you right now, but that's a whole nother topic. So for everybody out here that hear my voice, if you were married, depending on how you were married, because I have to see the beginnings of your marriage before I tell you a certain thing applies. But if you are married, there is no such thing as divorce under God's law. There is a divorce under Moses' law. There is a divorce under this. You can divorce as many times as you want to under this American government, or under any, or damn near under any government in the world. They'll let you divorce as long as you snap your fingers. Boom, divorce, divorce, divorce. They don't give a damn. It is not meant for you to have 2 or 3 husbands or 2 or 3 wives. It's not meant for that. But like I said, I don't want to get too deep in that. I don't want to give that secret away just yet. Now, another reason why women rush or pressure you to get married. I'm going to tell you why, fellas. Let's do some math, right? Let's do some math. Follow me. Work with me. Let me pull out my calculator. Now, I'm going to tell you why a lot of women pressure you to get married. First of all, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. I'm not telling you, it's true. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. It's good having stability. It's good having consistency to come home to. You know what I'm saying? It's good having somebody that you know her just as good as she know you, and you already got a good grips of how things are gonna go, how things are gonna be said. Like it's good to come home to consistency. I know people get bored of stuff really fast, but let me tell you something from a marriage standpoint, bro. I love consistency of being married. I love knowing what I'm going to get and what I'm going to walk into every day. I don't like the uncertainty of this is how she's going to act today. This is how she's going to act today. This is how she's going to feel because we're not married. And, one day she want to be a freak. And then the next day she want to be, I want to change my life. No, guess what? We married. All that don't matter no more. You see what I'm saying? I got consistency now. Because I'm married. By law, I got my consistency. By God's law, I got my consistency with this woman that I'm married to. So the consistency is beautiful. But let me tell you why a lot of these women rush you to get married. Let me tell y'all something. And y'all might not understand where I'm coming from. I'm pretty sure nobody think as deep as I think when it comes to stuff like this. So let me pull out my calculator, right? it's 12 weeks. 12 weeks, right? Well, it's 12 months a year, right? So if it's 12 months a year, you got 12 weeks out of that month, and you got 7 days, right? I'm just gonna do 7 days. So 12 times 7. That's 84 days a year, right? Okay. So if you understand what I'm doing, if you got 12 weeks out of a year, that means you got 12 weeks out of a year that your woman is supposed to have a menstruation, a cycle, a period that lasts up to anywhere between 3, 5, 7 days. But I'm gonna just say it. I'm just gonna say 7. I'm not saying that your cycle gonna last 7 days. I'm just gonna say 7. So that means you got 84 days, right? Out of a year that a woman has a cycle. So from 365 days minus the 84 days showing a cycle, the 84 days on the cycle, that's 281 days left. Now, if you with a woman this long, for a year, 2 years, or whatever, how many it goes, and y'all having sex, and y'all having tons of sex, right? And let's just say the 84 days that I projected her to be on her cycle, you don't have sex with her. You ain't one of them dudes who love bloody steak. You ain't one of them dudes who like being in the slaughterhouse. You the one of them dudes who understand that women shouldn't have sex on their cycles because that's what God commanded, and we don't have sex on our cycles. The cycles is for you to rest and cleanse. That's what the cycle's for. So if you're one of them dudes who operate by that, that means outside of those 84 days, you got 281 days to have sex with this woman. 281. Now imagine you met your girl and y'all got through year 1 and y'all got through year 2. So 281 days, right? So say y'all got 2 years in. So 281 days times 2. That's 562 days. That's 562 days that you can have sex with this woman. Right? So let's say for 2 years, even though you're not having sex with her the whole 562 days, we know it. We know it. So say for instance, out of the 2 years, for 562 days, let's take away, out of that 562 days, let's take away 200 days. Let's take away 200 days of that in 2 years. Oh, you know what? Let's just go. Let's do 1 year. Let's stick to the 281. So 281 days you could possibly have sex with this woman. But obviously you're not gonna take away. You're not gonna have sex with her all 281 days. So let's take away 81 days. So you got 200 days of the year you have sex with this woman. So imagine for 200 days this woman gives her body to you, which is one time. So that means in a 365-day period, she gave her body to you 200 times. 200 times. She gave sex to you 200 times in 1 year. Unmarried. So that's 200 fornications that she gave to you. Now, I know when I first started dating my girl, some days we was having sex 2 or 3 times a day. So imagine, just in that 1 year, for those 200 days, she gave herself to you. Out of 200 days, she gave herself to you twice each day. So she gave herself to you morning and she gave herself to you night. So that means in 200 days, she gave herself to you 400 times in 200 days. So in a 365-day period, she gave her body to you as a man that she's not married to for 400 times in 365 days. She gave her body to you more times than the day on the annual calendar. And she looking in the mirror. Year one go around. Let's say y'all survive past year two, and the same thing happens. So in 2 years, at giving herself to you twice a day, just go by my math. In 2 years, she gave herself to you 800 times in 2 years as an unmarried woman. That means you done laid between that woman's legs in 2 years. 800 times. And in 2 years, ain't even 800 days. So she fornicated with you 800 times in 2 years. And you still telling her, man, I ain't ready to be married. So we ain't got to move fast. But this woman then gave herself to you 800 times. You don't think she ready to get off the market? You don't honestly think she ready to stop sinning? You don't honestly think she ready to stop fornicating? You don't honestly think that she ready to have sex under God's law and don't feel bad about it? She actually putting you over God. You don't think she feel bad about it? You don't think she ready to become your wife? But she done gave herself to you 800 times in less than 800 days? So you wonder why these women out here are so ready to marry. Because guess what? What if she spent 2 years with you and nothing came from it? So she done gave herself to you anywhere between 600 or 800 times and nothing came from it. She done let you lay up on top of her for more than 600 to 800 times and nothing came from it. No engagement, no marriage, no nothing. Now she got to start all over. Now she done meet the next dude. And she done met him. And they kicked it for a year. And she done let him lay on top of him within the next year. Every bit of 200, 300 times. And nothing came from it. Now she done met the next dude. Thinking he gonna be better. And they kick it for 6 months. And if she ain't making people wait until she want to get married, all these accumulations of she letting people lay on top of her. And lay on top of her. And jumping down her. And y'all wonder why these women be in the rush to get married? Do the math. Look how many times they giving themselves to you niggas. If I felt bad like women, I probably would be married too. Instead of having niggas jumping up, and imagine, some of these women been doing this for years. Some of these women been meeting dudes and having multiple sexual encounters for years. You understand? Dude after dude after dude. He jumping in there as his will. He jumping in there as he want to. Time passed by. You just spent 7 or 8 months and letting this dude jump into you, he leave. You get another dude. You just spend a year or two with this dude, he jumping all up in you, he leave. Another dude come out. And by the time you look at it and by the time you get married, you done had about 11, 12, 13 boyfriends. And they all done jumped into you an extensive amount of times. Ain't no woman can tell me that her head ain't fucked up. I don't give a damn what she say. A woman can't tell me after letting all these niggas jump in her that many times, she ain't fucked up. I don't care. We ain't even got to talk about it because we ain't got nothing to talk about because I know you fucked up. I know you fucked up after you look in the... I know you fucked up after you look in the mirror of letting a man jump up and down on you for a year and a half, 2 years, and that nigga just up and leave. We fall out. He found another gal. And we break up. And you thinking about all the times you let this man jump up and down on you. And you tell me your head ain't fucked up? Please. And then the thing about it is, let's be honest, most of y'all don't heal before you move on. So you do this time and time and time again. Now you got occurrence, incurrence, encounter after encounter after encounter of this happening. And you ain't healed from none of them. You think you healed. See, the problem is you think you healed because you got over seeing a person. See, you can go without seeing a person, but the encounter's still eating you up. The gravel that you laid, the mileage that you picked up still be eating you up. So fellas, y'all be wondering why these women be hurry up and be wanting to settle down. Because they tired of letting these niggas jump up. They tired of giving themselves away in hopes that it's going to keep the relationship. And then when they give themselves away, bucko leave. Now she's starting all over again. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Some of these women out here soulless. Soulless. They got a soul, but it ain't activated. I promise you, a lot of these women out here soulless. That's why they moving the way they move. Because they soul is not activated at all. And you can see women out here moving without moving feeling. You can see how they move that they don't even really think highly of the work that they display. They don't think highly of the work that they display. You can see how they move. But that's another reason why women be quick to want to get into marriage. They're tired of starting over with letting these dudes jump up and down in them and not get nothing in return. So women, sidebar, I think it's time for y'all to change up y'all approach. I think it's time for a lot of y'all to hold out. Because let me tell you something. Time and position will show you the truth and the honesty of a person. So you make that man wait. I'm sorry, fellas. You ain't gotta like what I'm gonna say. I don't care. I don't play. Or let me hook my partner down so he can let him fuck over the feelings of this woman so he can get his rocks off. Now I don't play that game. So at the end of the day, some of you women, let me tell you something. Time and position gonna show you the honesty and the truth of a person. So you make a person wait, you gonna see who they truly are. You deny them access to you, you gonna see who they truly are. You gonna see if they really truly genuine there for you. You gonna see if they really truly genuinely there to try to build something mentally with you and spiritually with you and emotionally with you, or if they just want your body. You gonna see it. All you gotta do is give it time and sacrifice for yourself. But that's another thing. Why women pressure to be married. They tired of having boyfriends. They just tired of having boyfriends. They just tired of having boyfriends. And that man who finds a wife, a lot of women look at that statement as a superpower. Because they really feel that if they can become a wife, it brings something super and natural to the relationship. It'll unlock a door or something to a whole new world or to a whole new level of life. And like I tell people, consistency is beautiful. I love the consistency of being married. I love it. You know, I love the fact that I got a woman who want to fight for this covenant just as much as I want to fight for this covenant. I love that. See, the thing about it is when you don't have that, and when so many people got misconceptions about marriage, they be so quick to want to give it up. So I say that to say this. All these different marriage pressures, they not, I don't want to say they're not a bad thing, because a lot of the stuff that I tell you about the guys, that's like horrible things, you know. But when it come to women, it's not a bad thing that women are trying to not necessarily pressure you. into being married or to being married, but kind of want the situation to hurry up and happen because I know they tired of fornicating. I know they tired of sexually fornicating because it's more than one fornication. It's more than one types of fornication. So, but I know they're tired of sexually being fornicators. I know they're tired of giving themselves away. You as a dude, you might don't care because you don't give a damn. You think as long as you getting your rocks off, you don't care. You think God don't see you. You think God don't see you. You know? But all I want to tell people is this. The pressures are gonna be there. All the crazy type of scenarios of getting married, and I know it's way more than what I spoke on. I'm just speaking this from off the top of my head, from what I see. And I know it's way more pressures of being married. It's a lot more. It's marrying for people marry for insurance reasons. People, like you say, they marry for stability. They marry for the come up. They marry to, they marry for all kind of reasons. So it's precious. It's precious of being married for a lot of reasons. But all I'm telling people is, look, I don't want to mess up the ideology or the idea of marriage to anybody. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. But I want people to start doing is really figuring out what marriage really is and what it's really about before you decide to get in that marriage. Before you decide to get in that marriage. I know the world ain't perfect. I know you ain't gonna find very much, virgins out here that you can go into your, marriage with. And that's a whole nother topic about walking into a marriage with experience. With so much experience, a lot of people say experience is the best teacher. But when it comes to marriage, it's not. It's not. It's not. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Because a lot of people ain't gonna like what I'm gonna have to say about that. But really find out what marriage is. Really find out what it stands for. Really find out what a husband is. Really find out what a wife is. Really understand what headship is. Really understand that not only the husband or the wife submits to the husband, but the husband submits to the wife. You got to understand, for everybody who throw their Bible verse up, wives, submit to your husbands. Remember one thing, all you fellas, I want you to remember one thing. Before God said, wives, submit to your husbands, he instructed both husband and wives submit to each other. We got to submit to each other, but we got different roles of why we submit to each other. We got different perspectives of why we need to submit to each other. You understand? So, let's not throw a bunch of things overboard. Let's get some true meaning about some things. And if anybody want to really understand, when I tell you that once you get married, that there's no such thing as a divorce by God's law, by the law of the world, by the Mosaic law, you can go to any court in this country, in a court in this world, and they'll grant you a divorce. But that's not God's law. That's not God's intention. So by God, once you're married, you're forever married. I don't care if you get separated. I don't care if you go to I don't care if you go to a court and get divorced. You are never divorced by God from your first. If you are married to a person that is you, okay, put it like this: you as a woman and you as a man. None of y'all have never been married to nobody ever before. Never been married. Once you get married to each other, that means you're her first husband and that's your first wife. Under God's eyes, y'all are forever married. I don't care that the judge, that the lawyer, that the whatever in your city or your state tells you you can get a divorce. You can get a divorce by state, but you are never divorced by God. You are never divorced by God. And once you get a divorce by state, you become living in adultery or adulteress for the rest of your life. Because by God's law, there's no divorce. There's no divorce. So don't think you're not living in sin because you thought you got divorced by the courthouse or by your lawyer or by some type of mediator or something like that. Just because you got divorced by them, that's nothing. I understand God tell people, respect the laws of the land. That's magistrate. Yeah, he told people to respect the laws of the land with the intentions of they was going to run by the law of God. But the law of the land is corrupt. America is corrupt. All these countries are corrupt. They're not operating by the way of God. So you shouldn't be operating by the way of the world. You need to get back to operating by the way of God. But until then, all these marriage pressures, man, it really must just lead up to really get to sit down and know somebody. When I mean know somebody, I ain't talking about trying to get off in their bed quick. That's the problem. We want to get off in people's beds so fast. Like we think the relationships won't be nothing unless we know what the bedroom means. That's where we at nowadays. Because why? Because we so used to jumping in people's beds so fast that we don't believe in the fact that if we wait to marriage to have sex, it's going to be good. That's how it was intended to be. Sex was to consummate a marriage. Sex was the final lock and key in the lock. Sex was the lock on the marriage. Your sex life, y'all two becoming one, intertwining. Your key for her lock, that was the lock of the marriage. Meaning no woman ever had this man. Meaning no man ever had this woman. All y'all had was each other. All y'all knew was each other. And the only experience you got in your mind was, dang, last night was good. Let's make tonight better. Last night was good. Let's make tonight even better. Last night was good. Let's make tonight even better. But see, we don't got that now. We got, oh, I'm walking into this relationship and I lay down with her, but she ain't working it like Tamika. He ain't working it like Jackson. So my experiences are bad because I'm basing them on the last people that I've been with. But let me not get too far into this. That's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother topic. Let me stop it because I'm on my soapbox and I really want to kill a game and I really want to restore some stuff around here if I could. But all said and done, this your boy Messiah Boss. You hooked now the podcast. I'm planning on getting the world hooked. I hope y'all love what I'm doing. I hope y'all support what I'm doing. My devotions, the devotional part of my life, I'm doing that too. I'm finna jump back on that strong. I hope y'all love it. I hope y'all get something from it. I hope I'm giving y'all wisdom. I hope I'm giving y'all game. I know we living right now in a world where people don't even want to hear good news. They don't want to hear encouragement. They don't want to hear none of that. But I tell you people, I ain't gonna give up on y'all because I feel like we can change things. We can rewrite things and we all can get the best of this planet before we leave, y'all. We all can get the best of this world before we go. And we all can do it the way God intended to. It's not like we can't rebound. We can rebound. Everybody can heal. Everybody can get rid of those soul ties that they done built. We can do this, but we got to do it right. And we got to be patient. And we got to sacrifice ourselves to doing the right thing so we can get the best results. That's what we got to do. But until then, man, Much love, and I'm out.